Hi there, Sophia here from Skin and Pulp. Hope you're all well this evening. Tonight I'm going to be joined again by Matt from Top Selection, and he also runs 9 Elms Wines. And we're going to be talking through Christmas classic alternatives this evening. So I have loads of lovely wines with me. I have 6 altogether actually. Let me get my 6th one. It's over here. So we are, going to be giving you kind of alternative choices for your Christmas classics. And Matt is going to be talking us through these, and I'm going to taste them as well. So I can see that Matt is here now. Very excited to crack these open. Hello, Matt.
Hi there. Hello again, Sophia. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you this evening?
Yeah, very good, very good. It's a busy time of year, so days flash by. But,
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? 2nd of December already.
That's right.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about this session because
Indeed.
I think you're going to be giving some really great tips for wine buyers who, I don't know, perhaps want to branch out from their usual buys for Christmas. I'm sure you've got loads of good advice about kind of better value wines from what they might usually choose.
Yeah. I mean, I hope so. Actually, this was a tough session to choose the wines for, because we could have been here until midnight with about 40 wines. It's one of those things. But yeah, so tonight it would be great to just introduce everybody to some alternatives to some of the classic wines. So when we think of Christmas and people want to have a special bottle or open a few special bottles on Christmas Day or over the period, mine's traditionally turn to things like claret, good Burgundy, some nice special bottles from classic wine regions. The great thing about the wine world, though, is there's so much choice and so many things out there that are an alternative. And as many people know now, I'm not going to dismiss it, I will be drinking some nice Burgundy and Bordeaux, I'm sure, over the Christmas period. But these are expensive wines and are moving out of reach of some people. And actually, you want the quality if you're spending that amount of money. So the great thing about 9 Elms is we've got producers from all around the world, from some regions that people may not be that familiar with, but they're producing really good quality wines that have certain similarities to some of these traditional grape varieties. Like you've heard you mention Pinot Noir, but Cabernet Sauvignon, that kind of thing. So I thought tonight we'd just go through a few. And if you're ready to start, I'll introduce the
Yes,
the
I'm
first
ready.
one.
Okay, what we're going to start with?
So we're going to go to Austria. Austria makes some fantastic wines all throughout Austria now. It really is one of the leading winemaking countries in the world. And we're now going to the southeastern corner of Austria, to South Styria, and to a winery, Tement, who are family-owned winery, several generations since the 50s, produce one of the finest, or some of the finest, Sauvignon Blancs in the world.
Wow. And people don't generally think Austria for Sauvignon Blanc.
No, they don't. You know, they think Gruner Veltliner, a few other grape varietals, a lot of the red indigenous grape varieties they have. But this Sauvignon Blanc in South Styria, which is right down near the Slovenian border, due south of Vienna, has just some fantastic soils and climate, and a number of people grow and make absolutely fantastic Sauvignon Blanc. Wow. So the reason for introducing this is that if you are a Sancerre drinker or a Poulet Fumé drinker, or even a Mull, a good New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc drinker, this is a fabulous alternative. It is right up there with the best Sancerre you can get. Wow. And at a price that is, not ridiculous, and which is, just offers so much value. And just to give you an idea about the rise of Austrian Sauvignon Blancs, Wine Searcher, many people may be familiar with the Wine Searcher website. They recently rated their top 10 Sauvignon Blancs in the world, based on customer ratings, members' ratings. 5 came from Austria, from Sophia, and Tement do some not this one, but a single vineyard, Zurich, was the #1 Sauvignon Blanc in the world.
Wow.
On Wine Searcher this year. So, you know, the quality is there, and a lot of wine critics love this family and the way they make their wine. It's organic, it's low intervention, and this particular wine, called Kalten Krida, it sort of pays homage to the soils and the terroirs there, so the limestone and the chalk.
I really got a kind of flintiness, definitely. And so is this unoaked? It's just been in stainless steel?
Unoaked, 6 months on lees though, to give it some texture, and that really comes through in the mouth. So it is a traditional European style. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is, as I say, if you are a Sancerre drinker, a Poulet Fumé drinker, or even a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc drinker, this I think is a great alternative and is for you. And actually going into the future and next year, and many people may have heard that New Zealand, apart from any supply chain issues, have not had great growing seasons the last 2 vintages. France, we were talking to our Sancerre producers recently, 2021 has been very challenging. And, you know, Austria, 2020 was a fantastic vintage. And they, you know, so it's something to look out for.
Yeah, I mean, it's still quite a young wine, so 20 is a vintage. It has that bright fruit, doesn't it? And great acidity. What do you pair this with over Christmas?
Well, I mean, as traditionally, this would go with sort of seafood starters.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's right. White meats. I mean, yeah, absolutely. And but just is something. That's the other thing I was going to say about Christmas lunch. You read a lot of articles about food pairing for Christmas lunches and dinners and whatever. That's a really difficult thing to do. There's so many competing big flavours on your plate, and depending on what everyone.
Exactly. You've got, well, I like red cabbage with mine. And then you've got the turkey, and then you might have a bit of beef on there as well. And so, I know what you mean. So I think you go for the wines that you like.
Exactly. You should go for the wine style you like. You should go for a good quality wine. We talked about it last week, something that's got a bit of balance and acidity to it, that you're going to keep wanting to sip away at, but is also just going to complement the food. And this, we've started strong here, so it's one of my favourites.
Serious wine. It's very smart as well. The design. I think we're impressed with this on the table.
Yeah, absolutely. It's and it is £20, but a good Sancerre is going to cost you that or more. And, from that point, so I would certainly look out for this. As I say, the producer does a number of great single vineyard wines as well. So this one's taken from various plots from around their estate. So it's their sort of introduction to the quality of the Sauvignon Blanc. And you know, a lot of people, the other thing about Sauvignon Blanc, a lot of people, because I think this is because they see the vintage churn in supermarkets, is they think it's something you drink in a year, that vintage that year, you've got to churn through it. This just develops nicely. Over the next 4 or 5 years, it'll be beautiful. It will keep its freshness and its fruitiness, and you know, don't be afraid of it. So
fantastic. And I also noticed a glass stopper.
Yes, it's quite stylish, isn't
it?
Yeah, it is.
Very cool.
It is. It's not, obviously that doesn't help if you've got a caravan, but it's
unless you have a new one.
Yes,
one of the pivots.
That's right. That's what we'd need that for. But indeed. So so that was our first visit to Austria, and as I say, hopefully food for thought for people looking for, if they love Sauvignon Blanc but looking for a different region or a different alternative at a high quality. That's good.
Excellent. So that was the Tement
Yeah,
Sophia from 2020
yeah,
and
yes,
and £20.
yes, that's correct. Yeah,
Perfect. Well, I've got 6 wines to get through, so let's
yeah.
move
We'll snap on to the next one. So we'll just take a short trip across to Italy now.
Is this the one,
Yes,
the Gavi or the
that's
Gavi?
the Gabi.
I should
Yes,
say.
the OCG, the Cadua, and I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly. But again, so this is Piedmont, northwestern Italy, DOCG, Cortese grape. And if you think about that region, it's a gastronaut's heaven. And often they always say, don't they, that wines go with the foods from the regions and that kind of thing.
Together goes together.
Yes, exactly. Now this is a minimal, hand-harvested, minimal intervention family that, or the estate's been in the hands of the family since 1921. Brothers run it. Natural yeast, slow fermentation. It's all about preserving the freshness and the characteristics of the grape. And I put this in because if you like an unoaked Chardonnay, or if you like even a Chablis, that kind of thing, which a lot of people will be doing, and again, Chablis is expensive or getting more expensive,
yes.
And there are some bad Chablis around there that cheaper down the scale.
Yeah.
This is, this is not a Chablis, but this has got that sort of clean, unoaked, the fruit, but the minerality as well. That is enjoyable to drink.
Yes, I love that kind of the delicate peach notes you get.
Yes.
But still very, very fresh and dry and crisp.
Yes, and you'll get some herbal notes, some grapefruity notes, bit of cut grass, that kind of thing, dried herbs out of this. But in the mouth, again, really refreshing.
Yes.
No oak, so yeah.
That would be great as something to welcome everyone to the table. I can imagine some cold cuts with that and some salady bits, and yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah, absolutely, it is, and it's one of our most popular wines. I just think, once people taste it, they put it back in their basket.
Some Gavi can be quite restrained and not have enough character, but this is full of character, and
and I think that's the point of difference with a lot of these sort of smaller family producers, or these wines that aren't sort of mass produced or co-op produced wines. They really dedicate themselves to making the best possible wine they can. They've not got to make millions of bottles. So the characteristics really come through. And again, this is just still going on in the mouth.
Yeah, we've got Chit Chat Pan saying, love the logo. I noticed that. I'm very drawn to this. It's very traditional. It's a bit funny, like tongue in cheek. And it's very charming. I love that.
Yeah. No, they are. They're a great family, larger than life. Produce some great wines, not just this one. And again, I think, Gavi is something that people see around, may not always get the best experience with, but when you get a good one, like this, then so if you, as I say, if you like unoaked, refreshing, some good sort of florals and some stone fruit flavors, then this would be fantastic.
And I think I'd even go as far as to say people who like those styles with the turkey, this is turkey wine.
Yes, right? Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, someone else is saying, love Italian whites. There's so many of them. There are. But this one's fab. I'm not sure how to pronounce that either. Is it Chadua? I don't know.
I have to say, I'm the worst person to pronounce things. I've always called it Cadua.
You think? Okay.
Cadua, but Cadua.
That could be it. That sounds good.
That could be it.
If you use your hands enough, I think you will convince people.
Yeah, exactly. If you say anything confidently enough, they believe you. So
yes, exactly.
But so as I say, not something that people may think of for Christmas, but I actually think a lot of people would enjoy that.
Oh yeah, even I would say with the turkey grape, but also as an aperitif with some nibbles. Chit Chat Pans is asking, would this one go with spicy foods?
not too spicy, but you know, I think there's enough fruit in there.
That's it. Yeah.
Mildly
Sometimes
spiced.
can, like you say, overpower the fruit.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
some mild spices.
It is, yeah, but it's a dry wine as well. So I think if you were wanting something really spicy, you want something with a little bit of residual sweetness in it, probably. Yeah, but there's one way to try it, isn't there?
Yeah,
that's what you should try.
All depends on the sensation that you want as well, because you know, some people really like oaky, like quite tannic red wines with spicy food because they want the spice to be accelerated.
It's a lot of it is about personal choice.
Definitely. Okay, so what's up next?
Well, so now we're going to a legendary producer from a legendary mystical part of the world. So we're going to Hungary.
Ooh, very exciting.
And we're going to try a dry ferment from the Tokaj region of Hungary, and by an absolute legendary winemaker,
really?
István Szepsi. The history of this goes, you know, the family history goes back to the 1500s. They're descendants of I think it was 1630s. The Szepsi family were the first family to write down or document how to make the sweet Azu wines that Tokaj is probably more famous for.
Oh, yes, exactly. So that's right. Some people might have heard of Tokaj because of the sweet dessert wines.
Yeah.
But, sorry, continue.
No, not at all. It's 18 generations, 19 now. István Szepsi Jr. is beginning to take more charge of the winemaking. But this is a family that has an unwavering commitment to quality and interest and into promoting the best they can make. And the ferment grape, as I say, a lot of people think of the region and the ferment grape as being in a sweet Tokaj wine, so Azu wines or Zamorodnies, those kind of things, late harvest wines. But just about 20 years ago or so, you started getting the first really good quality dry ferment wines.
Okay. Yeah.
And again, pioneering, it was the Szepsi family who created or made the first, I would say, fine dry ferment, and in 2003.
Really?
And yeah, exactly. I mean, Jancis Robinson calls István Szepsi a genius. And so this wine, I'm going to stop eulogizing. I put this wine in basically as if you want to try something different to a white Burgundy, I would think this is fantastic. Ferment takes winemaking and is a very versatile grape, and can be produced in several different styles, from quite a simple unoaked to a very age-worthy wine that can take quite a bit of oak.
Yeah, it's oaked, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes,
I can tell by the colour, and also it's got that structure and
absolutely
a bit of the smoky and vanilla-y.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really, really top-class wine. It would, anything you think you could drink a white Burgundy with, you could drink this with. It would stand up to some complex and rich foods. Talking of age-worthy, ferment ages brilliantly. It's got so much freshness and acidity coming from the volcanic rocks and the altitude from the Tokaj region.
Yeah.
And, you know, it lasts, I mean, I drunk 15-year-old ferments from Szepsi, fresh as a daisy. The colour doesn't even change too much, you know. There's a slight, they're just fantastic wines. So the estate wine is a wine made from blends from the different vineyards that they hold, and the majority of their vineyards are Grand Cru or Premier Cru equivalent vineyards. So you're getting a little bit of characteristic from each one, and then they make a series of single vineyard cuvées, which are a fair bit more expensive. But this is for the price. You're getting this probably at village Burgundy price, if not a bit cheaper, and you're getting a Premier Cru Burgundy standard wine. That will last forever. And it is just, you get lovely lime characteristics. You get that hint of oak, bit of spiciness. Dry ferment. More people should try it. It's
wow. So how much is this bottle?
This is $32.99. So it's the most expensive that we're showing this evening.
Okay.
But as I say,
table.
Sorry.
This is right in the middle of the dinner table. It's quite an imposing bottle. Like it's a serious wine here. Another glass stopper as well. Very stylish.
That's right. Yeah. So I think it's a Central European thing. But,
okay. Yeah.
But as I say, we've gone strong with the whites. I mean, both Temmen and Sepsi are highly sought after by wine connoisseurs. They're well known in certain circles, and I 100% endorse people giving them a whirl instead of something they might normally go for.
So far, then we've had the Temmen from Austria, a Sauvignon Blanc, very, very kind of elegant, serious style here. And then we have, and that is, do you say 20?
£20,
yeah. And then we have the Gavi. Well, I say Gavi, but it's Gavi. I'm part Italian as well. I should know that by now. Which we said would be fantastic with your starters or nibbles or even your turkey. Yeah. And then how much is this one?
That's £16.
16, lovely. And we love the logo.
Yeah.
And this one is 32.
Yeah.
And it is your ferment from Hungary. Yeah. And
estate ferment, dry ferment from Sepsi in chocolate.
And this is for your kind of Côte d'Or Burgundy lovers, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's more restrained in the oak, but actually, the sensation you get in the mouth and the food pairings that we go with, and the sort of luxuriousness of it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a sipper. This is the thing. I mean, we were talking last week about paying a bit more for a wine that's going to last a bit longer. You would. It's really quite structured, and robust. So this is a wine that you just sip on over the course of a few hours.
Yes. I mean, there are other wines. If you're going after volume, there are other wines. But if you want something that's going to both go well with the food and also be, quite thought-provoking and enjoyable and will evolve as you're drinking it, and something that you could trust if you're hosting. I'd be amazed if people didn't enjoy it. So brilliant. Well, thank you for introducing me to Shepsy. I haven't heard of them before, but like you say, Jancis Robinson is a huge fan, and one of the best. Yeah, well, both the sweet wines and dry wines that they make are highly sought after. They're not always, they're not available everywhere. The productions are quite small, and in fact, they are so dedicated to quality that in certain years, if the vintage isn't that good, they won't release it, or they'll divert the wines elsewhere. So, but if you see it around, and certainly you'll see it at Nine Elms, I highly recommend it. I mean, all three of them, to be honest.
Four for choice there.
Yes, exactly. So that's the whites. Right. So we did 3 whites, 3 reds tonight.
Yes. I just Chit Chat Pans is saying really attractive looking bottle. Might order quite a few for Christmas gifts. Wow. But it's a special wine, so I'm sure your friends and family will be very happy with that. I would.
Yeah. And remember, you have your discount code as well that we've given you. So.
Yes, SkinandPulp 10 for 10% off. And those of you that are going to stick with us to the end of the live, we're probably finishing maybe 7:45. There'll be a chance for you to win one of these bottles of your choosing. So stick with us. Okay, we're going on to reds.
Yeah, so now we're going back to Austria. I said at the start.
This one.
Zweigelt, Anton Bauer. Yeah.
Another smart bottle. For those people watching who don't know Nine Elms Wines, these are wines that used to be just for the on-trade exclusively. So wines that you're going to find in restaurants only. Really, you can't get these wines.
No, they're you do find them in certain independent retailers, but and specialist retailers, luxury retailers. But traditionally, all our wines were and are predominantly found on fine dining wine lists. And a lot of the reason behind starting Nine Elms was to give them a national shop window and to bring smaller producer wines to a wider audience. And that's what we're doing. So you won't. Some of these wines you won't find exclusively at Nine Elms, but if you find them anywhere else, we've supplied them to other people. So,
okay. Yeah, good to know, definitely. But I mean, like, you really do get a difference in, I don't know, all the labels are very smart, aren't they? Because they're kind of wines that I guess were designed to be in restaurants.
Well, they were. And I think, as you said last week, you buy with your eyes, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so it does make a difference. And the quality of the wines, these are wines that command a certain price point, and the packaging needs to reflect that as well.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, Zweigelt, tell us.
Zweigelt is a uniquely Austrian grape that was created by Professor Zweigelt, funnily enough, in the 20th century. And it's a cross between another couple of grapes from sort of the Austrian Central European area, Blaufränkisch and Saint Laurent. But what Zweigelt produces are, if you are a Gamay, so Beaujolais lover, or if you are a Pinot Noir lover, this is why this is on the table. This is a wine, if you like that kind of profile, those soft tannins, the slight spiciness, the red fruits, then Zweigelt's a great alternative. So this one is,
I was going to say, like, it pours like a Pinot Noir, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So if you're used, it's very kind of light bodied, light in colour.
Exactly. You should get sort of cherry aromas, a bit of spice. So this wine, again, Anton Bauer, it's another small family producer who is in the Wagram region of Austria. They also make and are known for producing outstanding Gruner Veltliners, but they make superb Zweigelt and Blaufränkisch red wines, absolutely superb ones. Now this one, again, Zweigelt, a bit like a lot of the other whites we were talking about, can be produced in quite a simple, gluggable, fresh format, and this is a bit more complex. It's given 16 months in used oak and large oak barrels to mature before it's bottled, and so that gives it that slight spiciness and a little bit more complexity to it, which is where it comes into sort of Pinot Noir territory rather than necessarily Beaujolais territory. But if you like a cru Beaujolais, or if you like a good village Pinot Noir from Burgundy, then I think Zweigelt, and it's, apart from being a fun name, a talking point for your guests and whatever.
I mean, as Mama Wine Time is saying, gorgeous colour. So that's the first thing you really notice. It's this kind of really vibrant ruby colour with like reflections of purple, I would say. Yeah, it's very beautiful. It's
very food friendly.
Yeah,
it works very well, lightly chilled, like a lot of sort of Gamay Pinot Noir led wines.
Yeah,
very slightly chilled, that would work well, but very Moorish. That cherry evolves in your mouth.
It's like, and cranberries as well. Yes. And lots of people do like a Pinot Noir with their Christmas Day turkey. But this would definitely do the job. And just slight kind of oak sensation, just like very lightly. But yeah, a little bit of spice, warming spice for those kind of winter nights. Yeah, it's absolutely lovely.
No, it is. It is a lovely drink, and I think it's the kind of thing you do see more of it on sale. But I think a lot of it is sold more in restaurants where a sommelier can tell you about it or whatever. But it is kind of thing. If you do see it on the shelves, don't be afraid of it. It's not some weird thing. It's it produces very good wines, and Anton Bauer is again very intense about the quality. It's all hand harvested. It's long, slow fermentations. You know, it's nothing is spared. Now, so we're drinking the 2018. We're about to move off the 2017 on the site. So the 2018 and the full price, this is $17.99. But I would say, and this is shameless hustling from me, we've got the last few bottles of 2017, and we've got it on promotion at £13 at the moment.
Whoa, that is a bargain.
Same wine, same, just the earlier vintage.
Oh,
and
wow.
Again, this thing, these wines, some Zygarts are meant to be drunk young, and I wouldn't say this is something that you will put away for a long time, but it's the kind of thing that, you know, it's already had 16 months maturing in the oak, so it will last several years, and it will just get smoother.
Yeah.
So,
might
again,
have to bag one of those myself. £13. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I keep reaching for the turkey wines, but if anyone watching eats something else on Christmas Day, let me know.
Duck.
Duck and goose
And those kind of things. Yeah. And it would go very well with some of the accompaniments. So bread sauces, cranberry sauce, those kind of elements that come into the meal.
Yes, I am a huge bread sauce fan with Christmas dinner. Many people aren't. I'm usually the only one eating it, but it's all good. So like the acidity in this, it's not it's not sharp. It's just there, so it'll cut through those kind of, that creaminess of the bread sauce, cut through the fat. Yes, great food wine.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I have. Too much. Let's move to the next one.
Everything in moderation-ish.
Yes.
But so we're speeding through these.
We are. We're time. Brilliant.
So I was umming and ahhing about which order to do these in, but I've plumped to go to Portugal next.
Portugal, so it's the Douro wine.
Douro, yeah.
Here we are.
So this is a wine made by a family producer called Alves de Souza in the Douro Valley. And this is made from, this is a single vineyard wine. They have 6 quintas or vineyards, and this is Gaivosa. And Gaivosa is their flagship vineyard. And it's known for old vine wines and outstanding ports and that kind of thing. But there are a lot about so a lot with them is about passing down the generations, and you're only sort of looking after the land for the next generation and that kind of thing. So this wine is, well, they have sort of regeneration programs, because a lot of these are, you know, old vineyards, old vines. They have a regeneration program where they regularly replant young vines, new vines, and then they produce this special cuvee from the first years that those wines produce fruit. So Primeiros Anos, or Primeiros Anos, as they would say. So this is a blend of mainly Touriga Nacional, 50% Touriga Nacional, with some Susau and some Amarala. And it's
that is very powerful on the nose, isn't it?
It is. So this is moving now on to the people that want a full-bodied red. So we're getting into your Burgundies, big Napas, that kind of, not Burgundy, sorry, Clarets. But Douro is on the up and up. It's more people are becoming aware of it. It's not just port. And these wines are just superb. It's had I think it's 9 months in oak.
Okay.
But it's meant to be. It's whereas their main estate red wine from the Quinta da Gavosa is a Van de Garde, so it's something that you look at your cellar for a long time, and it just gets better, and it will last for years. This is made in a style that is meant to be more approachable earlier. It will age, but it's got that balance of the fruit and the tannins and the oak. So if you like a big wine with bags of character, and so if you're having game, or if you're having beef, or you're having certain cheeses will go very well with this. But it's the kind of thing you could sit throughout the day. It will evolve throughout the day as well.
Oh, fantastic! So, get that spice, like some cloves and there's baking spices like cinnamon in there, but very kind of rich, concentrated fruit. You kind of hedgerow fruits and black plums.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah,
and don't just take it from me as well. On the website, on our website, the winemaker Tiago has done a little video to tell you about the wine. So if people want to know more about it, they can go on.
Oh, brilliant!
Yeah. So
9elmswines.co.uk.
Yeah. So, but they, you'll meet Alves de Souza again next week, because when we do fortifieds and stickies, there'll be something from them coming up into that.
Brilliant.
But one thing I also wanted to talk about this family for as well is that last week we talked about grower champagne, and that the difference was, and people traditionally used to grow for the big champagne houses. Yeah, exactly. Well, this is a family that back through the generations used to grow the fruit for port houses.
Right, okay.
But they had this wonderful land, I don't know if people know the Douro, but you'll see these images of these steep-sided terraced vineyards, winding through the Douro Valley. And in the late 80s, Domingos, who's the head of the family, decided that they were going to make their own wines. So they went from moved to that sort of independent family grower status. And they now win many awards for all their different, both...
So really made a name for themselves.
Yeah, they have.
And you can just tell the fruit is such high quality. It's really pure, so much flavour. And this is a great Christmas wine. So we're saying, so it's Christmas classic alternatives this session. So we're saying if you love your Bordeaux wines, your big Napa Valley wines, your Cab Sauv and all of that. Even your Malbecs. Malbec is very, very popular at this time of year. Why not try?
Well, this is the other thing. Yeah, I forgot to mention as an alternative to Big Malbec. But as I said about some of the wines last week, should be celebrated for the Douro and for the characteristics it brings. But stylistically, if you like those fuller-bodied wines, it's got the fruit and the tannins, and as I say, it keeps making you want to go back for another sip.
It does, and I keep going.
Yeah, good for you.
So how much is this one?
Now, off the top of my head, I think it's about £19-20.
That's amazing. That's really great.
It is, yeah.
I did not think I thought you were going to say 40.
No, well, I think this is the thing, is that if you were to buy the wine from their older vines, you would be paying this. But this is just a great one. It will develop. But the Douro offers fabulous value.
Yeah.
It's one of the places, it's getting more discovered, but it makes superb wines, and you get great value for money.
Definitely. And we didn't cover, I don't think we covered the price on the Zweigelt. The Zweigelt.
So the Zweigelt is $17.99, but we've got the last case or two of the 17 on sale for the 13.
13, of course. We did cover that because I clocked that in my mind. 13. Yes, amazing. Will the discount code work on that as well, or not, because it's already...
I don't think it will work on...
not 13.
The technology, Elves might have stopped that, but the discount will work on all the other wines.
Brilliant. Well, it's a bargain enough at £13.
Yeah.
Chit Chat Pans saying that's a bargain for exotic wine like this, and they're also saying a friend of mine is 99, and I think I might consider this as another gift.
I don't blame you. Yeah.
99.
Yeah, it's very nice. Yes, you're a very nice friend, whoever
You
you
are.
are.
Hi, Tim. Tim's joined. Tim, we are going through Christmas classic alternatives. We're on our last wine of 6.
Yes.
So tell us about this one, Matt.
So this is for the Bordeaux lover. We are getting on a long distance plane now. We're going over to Western Australia to the Margaret River.
Ooh, okay.
So this is a small, really boutique, family-owned estate in the Margaret River called Picarvi. Picarvi in Latin means I have sinned.
Okay.
And this is no regrets, which is their...
Very cool.
Yeah.
It's a very cool bottle, actually.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of standout. If you've got that on your Christmas dinner table, that will definitely start a conversation, I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And they make some superb wines from the no regrets range through to some top end estate wines. But this, for value, it's I mean, I didn't know this until recently, but the Margaret River has the closest microclimate to Bordeaux in the whole of the Southern Hemisphere.
Oh, okay.
And so it is absolutely, well, it's got a reputation for making Bordeaux style wines, Bordeaux blends. And Picarvi were actually one of the first, well, the first people I understand to actually bring in, so not just making Bordeaux style wines, they've actually brought in clones from Bordeaux to, because it's so suitable. And so this is majority estate fruit. It's 70% Cabernet Sauvignon, 16% Merlot, and then there's some Cab Franc, Malbec, and Petit Verdot in there. 9 months.
Real traditional.
Real traditional Bordeaux blend. 9 months in French oak, designed to be an easy drinking wine. That will give it, certainly enjoy over a few years, but it is silky. It's got all the hallmarks of a good Bordeaux, but in a very Australian style. But honestly, and again, value for money. And it's
oh, that is lovely.
Yeah.
You've got kind of, because it's 2017, so the fruits are quite a little bit developed. You're getting kind of more baked fruits slightly. Oh, but it smells good. It smells of spices, and you can smell a bit of cedar, like sweet cedar wood.
And Picarvi themselves are on a bit of a roll. They've been picking up awards for all their wines. They're relatively new to the UK for us. Well, they're new for us in the UK. But I'll give you a little hint. They make some wine for a big grocery store in Knightsbridge with a green theme as well. So what I'm saying is, they've got a pedigree. They make superb wines, and I just think if you want to try something different to claret, if you don't necessarily want to pay the little extra that you would for a Bordeaux, I think think this is a cru bourgeois.
Wow, this is it packs a punch. There's real meat on the bones.
Yeah.
This wine.
Yeah.
And this will see you all the way through lunch, I think, all the way through the cheese board.
Absolutely.
Into the night.
Yeah. Yeah. Rib of beef and a cheese board.
Oh,
and as I say, and open another bottle going into the night.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And how much will this one set us
So
back?
this is £23.
That's really, I really did not think you were going to say that. I thought it was at least in the 30s.
No, well, this is what I was trying to show as well. One of the things is I could have shown a lot of the sort of alternative classics from sort of really niche single vineyard wines, but I didn't want, if you're going to spend that money, they're great wines, do so, but you equally gives you might as well spend the money on the Bordeaux or the Burgundy. What I wanted to show was there's choice out there.
Yeah.
There's choice out there,
definitely.
and these are really great quality wines without breaking the bank. Everyone likes to trade up a bit at Christmas, but you can trade up with confidence with these wines and really feel the difference. you can serve these to your guests with absolute confidence. And going forward, when you're out and about, see the Margaret River, see Tokai, see Austrian wines, see the Douro, you're going to have a bit more confidence to think, I'll open my wine world a bit and explore some more things.
I love that we're chatting about great value wines now and talking about alternatives, lesser known regions, or kind of lesser known grape varieties that you can't quite pronounce, but offer this fantastic.
Well, I think it's certainly in the next few years going to become very important to do that, because both climatically, vintage issues, the supply chain issues, the price of wines from certain regions in France and the New World the rises are going to be quite extreme, and the availability and choice is certainly going to be subdued for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
And the chances are the prices won't always come back down very quickly. So I think it's more important now to look and try different things.
You need to,
and the caveat to all of this is at no point am I disparaging, because the reason all the classics are classics is because they're so darn good.
Exactly.
And and we our range covers them very extensively as well. But I want to just show something a bit different this evening.
No, brilliant.
Hopefully I've done
that. So much, Matt. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to save this video to my IGTV now, and I'll put it on my grid. And then whoever is first in the comments can win a bottle of your choosing of these 6 wines. So I'm going to write all the wines down as well in my captions so that everyone can know their names and look out for them on the website. Okay,
fantastic.
Brilliant.
Good. Yeah. And so are we doing one more of these next week?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We're fortified and stickies next week.
That's right.
So I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, thank you so much. And I'll see everyone in the comments. Remember, first one there gets a bottle of wine.
See you guys. See everybody.
Thanks
Sophia. Bye-bye.